law professor and devoted father of two, Dan Markel, was involved in a bitter custody battle with his ex-wife, Wendi Adelson. Wendi wanted to move with the kids from Tallahassee to South Florida to be closer to her mother, Donna, her father, Harvey, and her brother, Charlie. And after Dan Markel was gunned down in his driveway in 2014, that's exactly what she did. Charlie is now behind bars after being convicted of ordering Dan's killing. And in a shocking new development, Charlie and Wendi's mother, Donna Adelson, has been arrested and charged with orchestrating the murder for hire. Tonight, we take a look at where Donna is tonight and what is next in the case.
Donna is the overbearing matriarch who nags everyone to death about whatever it is that's currently on her. I call it the wheel. The wheel's turning all the time, right? And Wendi getting away from Dan Markel and moving to South Florida was number one on the wheel. Donna enlists the defendant to go in and fix it.
And in tonight's On the Docket, in Ohio, a father of three charged with an unthinkable crime, executing his three young sons in front of his wife and stepdaughter. Chad Doerman is being held on $20 million bond and is facing the death penalty. Today, the alleged killer dad was in court as his defense team argued over several motions.
Man they trust more than any other person on earth. Person they rely upon to keep them safe from harm. He was their world, he was their guardian, and he executed them in cold blood.
Then, on tonight's Tank Takes, a Florida man is arrested after leading police on a high-speed chase. When he was finally caught, police noticed a neck tattoo featuring the saying, "All gas, no brakes." So tonight, we're asking, should it have read, "All gas, no brains"? Get ready, this hour of Closing Arguments starts now. Good evening and welcome back to Closing Arguments. I'm Michael Ayala in tonight for Vinnie Politan. And we begin this hour with new details in the Donna Adelson case. Now, she's the mother of Charlie Adelson, who just 2 weeks ago was convicted for his role in the murder of Dan Markel. Markel was the ex-husband of Wendi Adelson, Donna's daughter and Charlie's sister. Authorities say Markel was the victim of a targeted hit orchestrated by the Adelsons as a result of a custody dispute. Then, just 1 week after Charlie's conviction, Donna was arrested and charged with the same crimes: first-degree murder, conspiracy, and solicitation. Here's Leon County State Attorney Jack Campbell when he first announced the arrest.
She was arrested last night in Miami International Airport.
And was she leaving the country?
Yes, we had information that she had booked a flight to Vietnam. The flight went from Miami to Dubai, and then there was a layover, and the rest of it was going to Vietnam. She was apprehended on the jetway getting on that plane.
And will she be extradited back to Leon County?
Sure. This doesn't actually require extradition because she's still in the state of Florida. That's one of the things when we found that she was leaving the country, extradition would have been an issue. We started talking to some of our federal partners about the complexities and how hard, depending on what country she ended up with. If she stayed in Dubai, how that would be. If she were to go to Vietnam, what would that be? If she went somewhere else? And that was when the decision was made that we needed to kind of expedite, because we don't have to extradite from Miami. She will be transported, though, from Miami to Tallahassee. That's really between the sheriffs. It's an administrative issue. Because of safety concerns, we don't tell even the prisoner or anyone else when we're transporting prisoners. And so at some point by law enforcement, it'll be between the sheriffs, Sheriff McNeil and the sheriff in Miami-Dade will decide when she'll be brought up here.
So where is Donna Adelson? As of today, Donna Adelson's records are no longer available in the Miami-Dade online jail system. This means she is either being transported to Leon County or has already arrived there. So what do we know? What we do know for sure is that Donna is expected in court tomorrow for a brief hearing. So that should tell you something. To get his thoughts on this new development, let's bring in our special guest with us, criminal defense attorney, former federal prosecutor, and the man who broke the news on Donna Adelson's arrest. Tim Jansen is with us. Tim, thank you so much for joining us on the program this evening. And I got to get your thoughts. I mean, it was some sleuthing by our reporters here that figured out, hey, she disappeared from the rolls over there. She's not quite over here. Where is she?
Well, you know, Michael, it's all security reasons why they don't tell people. What happens is they send deputies down there. They go down and they come back same day. 2 deputies. The same 2 deputies went down and got Meg Banawa and Charlie. I can tell you that Charlie's last meal that he ever had outside was McDonald's. So what we know, what I've been told, and we've checked through what's called Vine Link, is that she is no longer in the Miami-Dade jail. That they went for her this morning, and it's a 7-hour drive there and then a 7-hour drive back. There was some issues. Apparently she's having some issues at the jail. So I would imagine she would get here around 10:30 or 11. The problem you have with booking is always a problem with booking. You got manpower. And so the first thing they'll do is they'll take her mugshot. Then they'll book her in. Now, her documents show in the system, but it doesn't show her right now. If she gets here around midnight, maybe 1 o'clock, she should be able to make the 11 o'clock first appearance tomorrow.
All right, so tell me what we expect tomorrow. And the other thing, my question is, you mentioned it's a 7-hour drive here, 7-hour to there and back. Will she be brought back, or is this permanent? Because normally if someone has an appearance in a court in Leon County, you bring them to Leon County, they appear in court. At this point, there's no reason to take her back, is there?
Oh, no, she won't go back. Once she gets to Tallahassee, Leon, she'll be here until the case is over. They were just holding her there. Leon had 15 days to come get her. If they didn't come get her in 15 days, the judge down there could have issued a bond. So they weren't going to take any chances. So my understanding through my sources, they went this morning. She's in transit now. She'll be here for the duration. She'll appear, if she makes first appearance on a video, they won't actually bring her into a courtroom. It'll be done in a video, and she'll appear before Judge Jones at 11 a.m.
All right, so here's my question. It's been nagging me since she was arrested. I don't know if you know the answer to this, but I'll ask you. We were all wondering if she was being tailed all along. Were they watching her? Did they have someone assigned to her? Or we do know that there were some communications because of a jail call where she, I think, mentioned something about maybe leaving the jurisdiction or going out of the country, and that triggered it. Like, how did it come that they were so fortuitous to catch her at the moment she was ready to leave the country?
Well, unfortunately for her, and there's some issues with that phone call I'm hearing from some sources, that she may not have realized that the phone was still recording when she made those incriminating statements. But I can tell you from my understanding, once law enforcement heard the comments and those statements, she was put under 24-hour surveillance by law enforcement until they got the warrant to arrest her.
There you go. That's what I figured. That once she started saying those things, they couldn't allow her to slip through their fingers. Now, I know you were very much into Charlie Adelson's trial and listened to what was going on there. And I said all through that trial that I was surprised, based on what I was hearing, why he was even before Donna in terms of coming before the court. Now, I know they had to get that Dolce Vita tapes together, and that's what sort of opened the door for the prosecution, and that's part of the reason it took so long. It wasn't clear enough for them. But I thought they had more than enough evidence for Donna, even before Charlie, as she was sort of the head, and that's where they put her even in closing arguments. So your thoughts on why she's last on the list?
I think, Michael, if you look at the way they wanted to do it chronologically, she was clearly the impetus, I believe, for it. She got her son to do it, but they needed to tie Sigfredo and Rivera to the Adelsons. So they had to go through Meg Banawa. Who did Meg Banawa contact? She never contacted Donna. She contacted Charlie. So they went that natural route. And of course, Meg Banawa's trial, we didn't get all these tape recordings that we heard at Charlie's, which clearly implicated Donna. And now her flight, you know, the consciousness of guilt evidence will be admitted in her trial, which is a horrible thing for a defendant. You're basically inferring to that jury, you're guilty because you took off. And that judge is going to give that instruction, and it's not a good one.
Yeah, no question about it. All right, Tim Jansen, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to be with us tonight. Really appreciate the info. We'll see you again real soon, I am sure. Right now, I want to bring in tonight's think tank. Joining us in Englewood Cliffs, New Jersey, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Al Wunsch III. Also joining us in Long Island this evening, criminal defense attorney Darnell Crossland, and in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, family law attorney Jennifer Brandt. Great to see you all. Thanks again for joining me tonight on the program. And I'll begin with you, Al. She's now in Leon County. The process is going to start against her. And as I said to Tim, the evidence is strong. And I can tell you, when I was listening to the closing arguments in Charlie's case, I said, wow, this could be a closing argument against Donna.
Yeah, it very much could. But, you know, when you get yourself in a jam, you head down yonder to Vietnam. And that's what she did, which is not a very good move under those circumstances. And especially a one-way ticket. I mean, just be smart enough to buy a two-way ticket so you could say, listen, no, I was coming back. I mean, you know, Vietnam is the vacation capital of November. And say, but of course I was coming back. Of course, not smart enough to do that. And now she's, like I said, in a jam. And it's all because she wanted to go to Vietnam.
Yeah, well, Vietnam, I'm not even sure that was the best place to go. They have on occasion allowed for extradition. But Jennifer, you know, when you talk about not being so smart, once again, we see a case broken by jailhouse phone calls. I mean, you're going to say these types of things on a phone call to the jailhouse to your son. It's almost as if you want to be caught.
I don't know if she wanted to be caught, but if you look at the whole situation, Michael, I mean, this case is just, it's unbelievable. You can't believe that people would go this far. And look, I do this type of work every day, custody work. I see people at their worst in terms of, you know, being involved and trying to get their children and grandparents getting involved in these situations, like, you know, in this matter. But boy, these people, they really took it way too far and got so carried away. I mean, think about the tragedy that occurred. These children have no one now. You know, the family's broken up. And did they really think that they were going to get away with it? I mean, it's just astounding that they believe that somehow this was the way to resolve the matter. So not surprised, not smart all along. So not surprised at the jailhouse phone calls, just another part of this crazy case.
I agree. I think it all goes along with the arrogance of thinking that you could even do something like this. I mean, that's the part that doesn't make any sense to me. All right, Darnell, when we talk about the kids, or they still have someone, right? They have Wendi, they have Harvey, their grandfather, but will they have them for long? Let's begin with Wendi. You think Wendi is in trouble here? Now, I question, she from the very beginning, from the probable cause affidavit, basically talks about her family and some of the reasons why she suspects them when they asked her, who do you suspect might have done this? Would she have done that if she knew and was involved in some way?
You know, it's hard to tell. And it's funny you mention that because if she saw the writing on the wall and she was saying, hey, I want to distance myself from the people who might be culpable, and she started to spill it out, it's two things. One, either she was just overly truthful, and that's the way she is, or two, she was, again, trying to distance herself. In terms of the mother in Vietnam, you know, I've been to Vietnam. I tell people I've been to Nam. And so I went over there, I toured the whole place. Like, you're right, they do have extradition, and they have used it on occasion. So I'm not sure if why she was running there. But the point is, if, like, the mother of these children saw the writing on the wall, if she saw, and she wasn't so cocky, and she knew that there was a chance that her son can get convicted, she should have left a long time ago. But a lot of times, families and friends crowd courtrooms to so-called give support. But if she knew and she wasn't so cocky that she was involved, she had dirty hands, she should have left, like Al said, got a two-way ticket and left a long time ago. But they thought they were so strong that they were going to just have so much money and power they can walk out, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, I would have to agree that that would have to have been their thinking. Al, I got to ask you, because when I look at the evidence just generally against Donna at this point, we got the flurry of phone calls on the day of the murder. We have the checks that she wrote in her handwriting to Katie McBanowa, which were going on for quite a while. She had to have asked, what is this about? And then when she was confronted and they did the bumps on her and cops were after her, she immediately then begins to contact Charlie, speaking in code, various things. And I'll tell you this, Al, from your experience, you tell me, when the police put this much time, effort, and money into an investigation, they're gonna get their people. Normally I say they get their man, but here they're gonna get their people.
No doubt about it. But, you know, you talk about a situation that was kind of a screwed up plan from the beginning. You know, when you start paying money off in checks and start doing things along those lines, and you create a paper trail, I mean, you know, what are you thinking? I mean, you know, speaking in code is not good if you're writing checks for the person who's, you know, going to orchestrate the murder. So it's very, very weird to me that this family, as smart as they pretend to be, just how dumb they were with regards to this. And, you know, I agree, you know, with Darnell that if, you know, Donna saw the writing on the wall, she should have been off to Vietnam, you know, months and months ago, as soon as this happened, and getting lost in like Hanoi and not being ever seen ever again. Because there is just so much evidence in this case. And the way that the prosecution has put this case together is just ingenious, working like a puzzle, starting with one level to the next level to the next level. And whether or not, you know, it goes any further than this is going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, I could not agree more, Al. I think the way this Charlie's case was tried, the way they went through Kathy, and they got him, and now they're going after Donna, it's really just been a masterful prosecution. All right, stand by, folks. We do have to squeeze in a quick break now, but please don't go anywhere. The Think Tank is, of course, staying with us all hour.